Hello and welcome to the third lesson of our English Skills video series. And in this lesson, you are going to discover the different subtitling options and the benefits that they have, and also how you can use subtitles to effectively improve your listening comprehension and other English skills too. The ultimate goal of learning English is to be able to understand native English speakers. So it's super important that you listen to real English materials. This can be quite challenging, especially if you're just starting to listen to real authentic English. But this is where subtitles can help you to make that transition. There are different subtitling options and there are different benefits that they have. So let's take a look at what they are. One subtitling option is to watch a video in English with your native language subtitles. This option is great as you can understand everything that is being said in a video regardless of your English level. And it's great to expose yourself to the language. However, it can slow students down who have good listening skills, and it can make it difficult to understand more advanced vocabulary such as phrasal verbs, idioms and slang words. You also might find that you're more often reading your native language rather than listening to the language in English. So another subtitling option is to watch a video in your native language and have English subtitles. This subtitling option isn't the best option out there. However, it's a great way to expose yourself to the language whilst relaxing. It's a good time to get a bit of reading in there, and also you might pick up a few new words and vocabulary along the way. This option of subtitling in English might not always be available when you watch something in your native language. But if it is, I would encourage you to take advantage of this so that you can read the language and expose yourself to more vocabulary too. So the best subtitling option is to watch videos in English with English subtitles. This option has huge benefits. It helps you with your speech as you can associate words with their sounds. It also helps with listening comprehension as you can see the word written down and you can identify when one word stops and another one starts. Plus, you can also learn new words in context. Watching videos in English with English subtitles is certainly the best way that you can improve your listening comprehension and your other skills too. So now let's take a look at how to use English subtitles effectively. So what you need to do is break your video down into chunks. Watching a full film or a TV series can be quite daunting and overwhelming if you're watching the entire thing in English. So this is why it's better to break it down into more manageable sections. If you're watching a TV program, a TV series, or you're watching a film in English, I would recommend to break that down into scenes. And if it's something else you're watching, try to break it down into 5 or 10 minute chunks. Do what you feel is right for yourself. And once you are happy with how you're going to break this video down, you're ready to apply the following steps. So when you watch the first part of your English video, the first chunk, do not use subtitles. First, try to watch and try to understand the general idea of what's happening in the video. Of course, try to understand as much as you can, but don't worry if you don't understand everything. This is a great way to expose yourself to the language without any support, and it also can help you to assess your level of English. The more that you practice without subtitles, the more that you will probably see progress in your listening ability. So now that you've watched the video without subtitles, it's time to re-watch the video using subtitles. This is a way to assess how much you actually understood the first time you listened. And it's also a great way of picking up new information when listening to the video again. What you should do when you have the subtitles on the video is try to focus your main attention onto the actual listening skill itself and just use the subtitles to confirm your understanding of the language. So now that you have a better understanding of the video, it's time to re-watch the video for the third time with the subtitles, but this time your main focus is to pick up new vocabulary or grammar structures. Have a notebook and a pen ready when you are watching the video for the third time and write down all this new vocabulary. Try to listen for typical expressions as well that's used in spoken English, and take note of grammar structures that you might find that are different to the ones that you know. And after you've taken note, I would recommend to create your own sentences using the vocabulary and using the grammar structures. By doing this, you're actively improving your English skills through listening to English. So the fourth step to using subtitles is to turn the subtitles back off. You need to remember that your ultimate goal of learning English is to be able to understand native speakers without any support. So now's the time to turn off the subtitles. What you need to do is listen to the whole video again and try to see if you recognize the new vocabulary that you have written down and the new grammar structures that you may have found. You will probably notice that you hear more and more the more times that you listen to the video. When you do hear more, always have a pen and a notebook ready to take notes of that new vocabulary or new phrases that you learn. So the fifth and final step is to wean yourself off subtitles. Now this means to slowly decrease the frequency of when you use subtitles. As I said earlier, your ultimate goal is to understand native speakers without using subtitles. So that's why you need to slowly stop using subtitles as frequent as you do. I know that using the subtitle option is very tempting, but this is not going to help you in the long term. You need to follow the steps that I've taught you in this lesson so that you can boost your listening comprehension and finally be able to understand an English video without subtitles. So let's just quickly recap over the steps that I've taught you in this lesson. So when you have your video, you should break that video into smaller, more manageable chunks. 5 to 10 minute chunks should be okay for this activity. So the first time you listen, do not use subtitles. Just try to understand as much as you can and don't worry about understanding everything. Then the second time you listen to the video, you can turn on the subtitles and try to see how much you've understood and try to gather more information about the video. Now the third time that you watch the video, you can use subtitles, but now you are trying to learn vocabulary and grammar and record this vocabulary and grammar structures when you come across them. Then the fourth time you watch the video, you need to turn the subtitles off. By turning the subtitles off, you are going to improve your listening comprehension, and that is how you should use subtitles. Your ultimate goal is to not use subtitles and to be able to understand native speakers without support. To practice these techniques that I've taught you in this lesson, you can head over to our free English skills course where you can find practical activities. So all you need to do is click the link in the description to join the course today.